To celebrate the life and poetry of Francis Ledwidge. I would like to extend a special welcome tonight to Joe Ledwidge, nephew of the poet. Joe has been blessed with a beautiful singing voice, and he and his wife Phyllis, who is sadly no longer with us, entertained us here in the hotel over the years on Ledwidge days. I would also like to welcome Catherine Diggett and Eileen Wilson Ledwidge, grand-nieces of the poet, and they have travelled from the UK to be with us here this evening. A special welcome to our guest Mary Heaney and her sister Claire. Mary will read for us later Seamus Heaney's poem In Memoriam Francis Ledwidge. Yes, a special welcome. A bronze statue to Francis Ledwidge will be erected in the village garden in the autumn, and bronze plaques with lines of Ledwidge poetry will form a trail throughout the village, giving Ledwidge the presence that he deserves in his native place. And this is thanks to Meath County Council.
Said this poem is not by Francis Ledwidge, it's about Francis Ledwidge. And my husband Seamus Heaney, it was published in a book called Fieldwork, which has now been reissued. And it was prompted by his memory. It moves through many times scales. It was prompted by his memory of walking with his aunt in Port Stewart when he was about 6 or 7, and seeing the big, beautiful, and it's an amazing memorial to the First World War. 20 people from Port Stewart died, and public money, £800 sterling in 1920, is a lot of money, and they have raised this memorial. So Seamus is remembering himself walking with his Aunt Mary on Port Stewart. The bronze soldier hitches a bronze cape that crumples stiffly in an imagined wind, no matter how the rail wind buff and sweep his sudden hunkering run, forever craned over Flanders. Helmet and haversack, the gun's firm slope from butt to bayonet, the loyal fallen names on the embossed plaque. It all meant little to the worried pet I was in 1946 or 7, gripping my Aunt Mary by the hand, along the Port Stewart prom, then round the crescent, to thread the castle walk out to the strand. The pilot from Coleraine sailed to the coal boat. Courting couples rose out of the stooped dunes. A farmer, stripped to his studs and shiny waistcoat, rolled the trousers down on his timid shins. At night, when coloured bulbs strung out the seafront, country voices rose from the cliff-top shelter with news of a great litter. We'll pet the runt, and barbed wire that had torn a Frisian's elder. Frances Ledwidge, you courted at the seaside beyond Drogheda one Sunday afternoon. Literary, sweet talk, countrified. You pedalled out the leafy road from Slane, where you belonged, among the dolorous and lovely, the May altar of wildflowers, Easter water sprinkled in outhouses, mass rocks and hilltop raths and raftered byres. I think of you in your Tommy's uniform, a haunted Catholic face, pallid and brave, ghosting the trenches with a bloom of hawthorn or silence poured from a Boyne passage grave. It's summer 1915. I see the girl my aunt was then herding on the Long Acre. Behind a low bush in the Dardanelles, you suck stones to make your dry mouth water. It's 1917. She still herds cows, but a big strafe puts the candles out at Ypres. My soul is by the Boyne, cutting new meadows. My country wears her confirmation dress. To be called a British soldier while my country has no place among the nations. You were rent by shrapnel as 6 weeks later. I am sorry that party politics should divide our temps. In you are dead enigma, all the strains crisscross in useless equilibrium. And as the wind tunes through this vigilant bronze, I hear again the sure, confusing drum you followed from Boyne Water to the Balkans, but miss the twilight note your flute should sound. You were not keyed and pitched like these true blue ones, the one, if you consort now, underground. Thank you.
This poem is called To One Who Comes Now and Then. He wrote this poem about his lifelong friend, Matty McGunna. He said that when McGunna came into the Ledwidge home and they were feeling down, he would cheer them up with a sad song. When you come in, it seems a brighter fire crackles upon the hearth invitingly. The household routine, which was wont to tire, grows full of novelty. You sit upon her home-upholstered chair and talk of matters wonderful and strange, of brooks and travels, customs old, which dare the gods of time and change. Till we within our word or care refute, laughing at this our bosom yet assails, while there are maidens dancing to a flute in Andalusian vales. And sometimes from my shelf of poems you take, and secret meanings to our hearts disclose, as when the winds of June the mid-bush shake, we see the hidden rose. And when the shadows muster and each tree a moment flutters, full of shutting wings, you take the fiddle and mysteriously wake wonder on the strings. And in my garden, grey with misty flowers, low echoes fainter than a beetle's horn fill all the corners with us like sweet showers of bells in the hour's morn. Come often, friend, with welcome and surprise. We'll greet you from the sea or from the town. Come when you like, and whatever skies above you, smile or frown. Thank you.
Soliloquy. When I was young, I had a care, lest I should cheat me of my share of that which makes it sweet to strive for life, and dying still survive. a name in sunshine written higher than lark or poet dare aspire. But I grew weary doing well, besides 'twas sweeter in that hell, down with the loud banditti people who robbed the orchards, climbed the steeple for jackdaws' eggs, and made the cock crow ere 'twas daylight on the clock. I was so very bad, the neighbours spoke of me at their daily labours. And now I'm drinking wine in France, the helpless child of circumstance. Tomorrow will be loud with war. How will I be accounted for? It's too late now to retrieve a fallen dream, too late to grieve a name unmade, but not too late to thank the gods for what is great. A keen-edged sword, a soldier's heart, is greater than a poet's art. And greater than a poet's fame, a little grave that has no name, whence honour turns away in shame. Thank you.
I think we've stumbled on the ideal format for a poetry reading here this evening. The only problem is, at this stage, I don't know whether the food is following the poetry or the poetry is following the food. So his own poem, which is all about equilibrium as well, The Wife of Lugh. The introduction to it is Evan Boland was writing in the Irish Times on the 31st of July 1967, and she said about this, she said, "The quintessence of Ledwidge's finding before him what was green and natural and already masterminded is contained in his loveliest poem, The Wife of Lugh, in its two characters, in an act of friendship. In it, two characters in an act of friendship decide to make a mate for Lugh out of whatever is fresh and perfect in spring. They build her face out of field flowers and construct her feet on the span of a bird's wing. It is a vision of perfection." The Wife of Lugh. And Gwydion said to Math, when it was spring, "Come now, and let us make a wife for Lugh." And so they broke broad boughs yet moist with dew, and in a shadow made a magic ring. They took the violet and the meadow sweet to form her pretty face, and for her feet they built a mound of daisies on a wing, and for her voice they made a linnet sing in the wide poppy blowing from her mouth, and over all they chanted 20 hours, and Lugh came singing from the azure south, and bore away his wife of birds and flowers.
Where Aegean cliffs with bristling menace front the threatening splendour of that Ily sea, lighted by Troy's last shadow. Where the first hero kept watch and the last mystery shook with dark thunder. Hark, the battle brunt. A nation speaks, old silences are burst. Neither for lust of glory nor new throne this thunder and this lightning of our wrath waken these frantic echoes. Not for these our cross with England's mingle to be blown on Mammon's threshold. No, we but war when war serves liberty and justice, love and peace. Who said that such an emprise could be vain? Were they not one with Christ who strove and died? Let Ireland weep, but not for sorrow. Weep that by her sons a land is sanctified for Christ's arisen, and angels once again come back like exiled birds to guard their sleep.
And I can think of no more apt introduction than the words of St. Augustine. The dead are not gone. We just don't see them. He will not come, and still I wait. He whistles at another gate where angels listen. Ah, I know he will not come. Yet if I go, how shall I know he did not pass barefooted in the flowery grass? The moon leans on one silver horn above the silhouettes of morn, and from their nest sills finches whistle, or stooping pluck the downy thistle. How is the morn so gay and fair without his whistling in its air? The world is calling. I must go. How shall I know he did not pass barefooted in the shining grass?
Eyes. I feel the warm hand on my shoulder light. I hear the music of a voice that words the slow time of the feet. I see the white arms slanting and the dimples fold and fill. I hear wing flutters of the early birds. I see the tide of morning landward spill. The cloaking maidens hear the voice that tells you'd never know, and soon perhaps again, with white teeth biting down the inly pain. Then sounds of going away and sad farewells.
On a wild Croagnaharna the breezes blow free, and they hold many heartaches and memories for me. Oh, my prince and my poet, you'll always remain, my beautiful Francis, my blackbird of slain. All these words left unwritten, those songs left unsung, Don City's bright star from the heavens has gone, and the champion of champions most men like to be lie far from the fair hill and the moorlands of me. All these are the woods and the waters I love, and there lies this town on a hillside above. And around in each field, in each green country lane, beats the heart of my hero, my blackbird of slain. On a wild Croagnaharna the breezes blow free, and they hold many heartaches and memories for me. Oh, my prince and my poet, you'll always remain, my beautiful Francis, my blackbird of slain.